Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. Wow, it's chilly again. It's cold again up here, everybody. It's kind of everything just bouncing around. One day it's this way, another day it's that way. Kind of sounds like the Trump administration. Wow, here we are. I mean, no lie. I mean, I'm bundled all back up again. From Monday, it was a beautiful, warm day. T-shirt. Today, I'm burr. It's cold. It's Mother Nature. That's all she's going to do. Sounds like Donald Trump right now. Around 200 our country now. I think Mother Nature's every bit of Donald Trump. One day it's this, one day it's that. Wow. Hey, the wife is gone. The wife has left me, being that she's going to see her mother. And the reason I know that is because the Grand Wagoneer is gone. That's the traveling vehicle. So she has gone off to spend some time with her mother and enjoy the southern flair. And how about that, huh? Boy, I kind of wish I could do that these days, but my life just doesn't allow that because I'm the guy that's way too many things to take care at home to be the farm boy, right? Gotta get in here, but boy, it's windy, chilly, and we get spoiled up here thinking you're gonna have a nice, beautiful spring. Then it gets all cold. Let me get in here with those dogs. As my one dog scratches the hell out of the door, he's impatient, and then there's all the troublemakers waiting for daddy. They're all waiting for daddy. All right. Come on, you bunch of noisy rats. Come on. Let's go. Here we go. Get out to the great old yonder. And as usual, shut the car. No, don't go that way. No, here we go. We just, man, I tell you, I'm gonna move up to the backwoods, and you don't even know where I am. I'm done. I'm done. Sick of it. Come on. Everybody's out in freaking front of my house. Yeah, get rid of the dogs, right? That's probably your answer. Your real challenge in life. You have all these damn animals. They wouldn't bark at anything. So I'm definitely fighting something, man. I mean, I'm sick. I'm amazed I haven't done this video this morning. You have no idea. I've been hacking and coughing. Like you can't believe. And I know it's because I've gotten chilled. I got chilled over the weekend and just working too much. Eventually, body just says nope. And so for me, I am so congested up. And I mean, the hacking and coughing is so bad. But anyways, I'll continue going. The coffee, I think I changed up. Coffee's so damn expensive. You buy these little Keurig cups things. And, we're going through those little Keurig cups. It's, those damn things. Those things are like $50 for a box of those little cups. Cheap. Come on. Where's Tango? It figures. Come on, Tango. Last night, it was the first time those dogs didn't crap or piss in my camper. I mean, a miracle. Yeah, it's taken me how many months? I mean, the crappers, well, wherever, so they're hungry this morning. So what I did is, yesterday I fed them, and nobody had any food last night. Come on. And, for me, it's just too much food. I think it's a good idea to kind of switch it up. That's how they're all here waiting to be fed. Yeah, it's because they're all hungry. Because I didn't feed them. Where's Tango? Tango just sitting out there doing his doofus thing. So let him just stay outside as I get the ones here that, see, everybody showed up for breakfast, right? Because they didn't have dinner. But a huge difference in my dogs sitting there in that camper and crapping and pissing everywhere. Yeah, that gets old, everybody. Yeah, one day I'll be smart enough to figure out how to go to the bathroom outside. It about that. I have no desire these dogs run around at 2 in the morning. Come on, Tang. I have no desire these dogs run around 2 in the morning. And you haven't got a camper to chase their ass down. That's the main reason that I don't let them out. No, stay here. Or I can crate them. I can definitely crate them. Come on, Tang. There's your old friends. Come on. Don't you just love the noise? Come on, Tang. Hey, Prince. Tang, let's go. Come on, Tang, go. You're late to the game, man. Nobody's happy about that, huh? Get in. Go on, get in. Yeah, I'm not the smartest of the bunch, everybody. This motorcycle is always in the way to get in here. So why am I that stupid? Get out of the way. Just get out of the way. This doesn't end. And now the dogs. All right, get out of the way. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to move this bike back. I mean, how dumb can you be, everybody? You don't answer that question. I mean, how stupid. You know what I mean? Duh. All right, let's see how empty this thing is. Get food here for you. Get the bowls. And get the morning going, everybody, with the dogs. You know, it's hard to deliver content because who the hell knows what's going on anymore? I mean, sincerely. So this morning, my thoughts were, I'll make a video called the pandemic video because the world's in yet another pandemic, if you kind of get that idea, because of Donald Trump, of creating panic in the world with all these stupid-ass tariff ideas he has, which now he's retracting on. I mean, I'm sorry, I know there's some serious Trump people out there that'll borderline die for Donald Trump. I'm just not that type of person. These guys get in power, and they convince you they're the answer at all. Right, sure. Well, for Donald Trump, it's a joke. Nobody knows where this guy's going. Nobody does. This guy one day is saying this, but you know what's really going on, everybody. But the Trump people won't believe it. And I ain't no Joe Biden guy, and I ain't no Barack Obama guy. Politicians are all, at the end, how to enrich themselves and give favor back to all their buddies. That's just politics. You haven't figured that out, then you're just keep on sleeping. Point is, for Donald Trump, the reason this guy's backtracking is because the world isn't kissing his ass. And somebody say, oh, yes, they are. No, they're not. They're not. Why is he retracting on all these tariffs that now we're going to take a time out? Well, because now he's starting to figure out you just can't make that type of change overnight. You just can't walk into a business and say, this all has to be changed, a whole different direction, and instantly it's all going to change. It doesn't work that way. So my thoughts were, Donald Trump's created another pandemic, everybody. Donald Trump, when he left office, he left a pandemic. But who started the pandemic? Yeah, who started the pandemic? So it's obvious Donald Trump wants to retaliate against China. Why? What in his world ruined his re-election possibilities besides China? Because we all thought from the get-go that Wuhan lab manufactured a coronavirus to create disarray in our country and this world to get Donald Trump out of office. Now, there's some who are like, oh, that's far-reaching, man. That's just no way. Can't be. China doesn't like Donald Trump. China was only hoping Donald Trump never came back to be again. But yet now Donald Trump is wanting to have his heyday by penalizing China. But it just doesn't work that way. But the guy's on total revenge. Has anybody figured this out? Why he's focused on China? He hates China. Because in his view, China ruined his legacy. So now you and I are part of another pandemic. Yeah, we're part of our pandemic because you and I are getting ready to witness prices of everything going through the roof. So I'm like, oh no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So you're telling me if the world, but I know what people are going to say is, no, everybody's going to come to the table at zero tariff, or 10% tariff, 10% tariff. Hey, that's possible. I have no idea. It doesn't seem right for the moment to be the actual agreement that's talked about. Yeah, there are some countries bowing down. But at the same time, for Mr. Trump, all of a sudden now he's like, whoa, hold on. Maybe we ought to just take a little time out here and see what makes sense. Because once again, not everybody jumped when Donald Trump said he's going to do this. No, so I know it's definitely a conversation where it'll be your view versus my view, your thoughts, but whatever. But all we know right now is, can you really tell me the answer of where things are going? This has been my theme this week, the questions. Monday was the answers. Tuesday was the questions. Here it is Wednesday. And it's an all-out tariff virus. So what we have on our hands now, under Donald Trump's end of the run, he had a coronavirus. Now Donald Trump has on his hand a tariff virus that's infecting the whole world. That in the end, if it doesn't play out the way that he thinks it's going to play out, I think you and I are looking at things very, very expensive. A lot of variables still playing out, but the whole point is we now have a tariff virus under Donald Trump's powers to be. And I know people out there that are the big Trump people, don't want to hear it, but it just cracks me up. When Donald Trump was being run out of office of 2020 with the Fauci, the whole regime trying to get him out of there any way he could, I'll never forget on how Donald Trump, for the record, everybody, Donald Trump was the guy preaching fast vaccines. And the whole Democratic Party was like, oh my God, no way am I going to take the vaccine shot from that guy, Donald Trump. If that guy's the guy in charge and he brings this vaccine for us to supposedly be healed from this coronavirus, there's no way in hell I'm going to take that shot. It's classic, everybody. Donald Trump's the guy pounding his fist to get the vaccine brought to us as fast as possible to get this virus under control to hopefully salvage his presidency for a re-election. The president is forced to start paying people to sit home to hopefully keep this country from going broke in dire straits and handing out money like never ever seen to try to keep the stability of this country as everybody's sent home and the workforce has disappeared and the consumers have disappeared. And so Donald Trump was the guy that instigated the vaccine. Donald Trump's the guy that instigated handing out money left and right. So what is classic is Trump doesn't get reelected. Joe Biden shows up, and now all of a sudden the vaccine is the biggest argument in modern times. Because now the Democratic Party is telling people, and I can't say every Democratic person, but the feel is that there's a division between the conservative mind versus the liberal mind, and there's a division between what's right, what's wrong. And so now it turns out that the vaccine's the greatest thing you should do, and you better get it. But Donald Trump is the guy that started the whole program. Wow. So now here we are on the tariff virus, where it's infecting the whole world of the uncertainties of what lies ahead for tomorrow. But if his tariffs really do have to be the hammer down, where he really does stay at the hammer down and start impacting all the goods that are being exchanged throughout the world and other countries don't bend, then everything you and I own or want to buy, I should say want to buy, is going to be that much more expensive. So now you're part of the tariff virus of everything that you buy from this point on, and what's the quality of it? I mean, there's so many things going on in the world right now of uncertainty with Donald Trump, and so many of the big guys are putting things on pause and holding. Now NVIDIA, they're going to have to pay billions of dollars to be able to sell chips overseas. So their stock is kind of being, they're kind of scratching their heads because now Trump wants to penalize the hell out of China. I get it. But you know what? Which came first, government or China? And what I mean by that is Bill Clinton was the guy that opened up, really it was Nixon, but the true global trade of the favoring of China was influenced by our government. So which came first, the government or China? Which problem really, it's always cause and effect, and that's how we live in this physical world that we survive yet another day. But you have to say to yourself, what created the China fiasco that we're in? What created it? Well, we know. Our own government did. Our own government has such strict guidelines of employing people, such strict guidelines of EPA, such strict guidelines of a executive of an organization can be sued, thrown in jail. The list goes on and on and on. So the government forced the hand in so many ways for all of our big guys in this country to look at China to beat our own government in the back end and to create more prosperity for them by going to a country that was open arms to look the other way to make it so our country could build stuff internationally and not stateside, and it could make a ton of money. But yet now, that whole idea the government pushed the narrative to is now a terrible idea. Now this sitting government wants to bring everything back here with this view that the world's all going to come begging to America to sell goods that we don't even sell. We don't even sell. What are we selling overseas? I hear Kevin O'Leary, and I don't disagree with Kevin O'Leary. He's mad as hell at China because they steal all of our research and development, all of our trade secrets. So basically, Kevin O'Leary's position is China's the worst on how they can come here and take something you develop and patent, and then they copy it and they make it in China and they sell it to you for half the price or maybe even 80% less. And so Kevin O'Leary's point that he's saying it's a 400% tariff on China is he thinks it's so unfair that we can't get into the China's government law, rule of law, and go after these people that are stealing intellectual property. And so that's his biggest point. Now, do the terrorists resolve that? I don't see how they do. But I don't disagree with Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank, who's the guy that said millions, and now he's the go-to guy to look for financial advice and the future of the blah, 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 blah. He's become very popular. But right, he's right. I mean, it's not fair that China always cheats the system. But once again, who created this problem? Our own country created the problem. You and I, a bunch of cheap asses. When you go to the store, you're going to buy the cheap ass stuff instead of the more expensive stuff. And I'm not saying everybody does that. This damn cough is so in my chest. Probably from the doctor. This is just a nasty ass thing. You can feel it in your chest when you cough. It's so deep, and it's probably getting worse and better because I just don't stop. I just keep on working. I can't lay down. I'll lay down one day. So I tell people, one day you'll be able to lay down. So you'll be able to lay down for good. Yeah. One day you will have a day to lay down, and you'll never get back up again, everybody. So the whole point of this conversation is with Donald Trump, with now the tariff virus. I just can't see it. I know some people are like, oh, in the end, this is going to be the greatest thing for our country. All the manufacturing's going to come back here. We're going to be a more level playing field and blah, 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 blah. But everything's going to be more expensive, everybody. Why? I mean, just ask yourself a question. Why then, back in the 90s, did the big guys go overseas to build everything? Why? Because they knew they could cheat the system on labor, on law, on goods, and they could build stuff for dirt cheap and make a ton of freaking money. So why didn't they stay domestic? And you hear all the stories of all the manufacturers went out of business in this country back in the 90s, 2000 years, because of who? China. So now all of a sudden, under Donald Trump's program, this country come back, and we're going to compete a level of China, and you're going to have everything be just inexpensive. It'll be better built, it'll be American built, and it's just going to be dirt cheap to buy. Yeah, right. Good luck. There's a whole article of an Amish community up here in Pennsylvania that builds an open pit fire stove. And it's a whole story about how this whole new China tariff is the best thing that's ever happened to them. Because the open pit fire stove they sell is close to $600. The China built one is close to $300. Which one are you going to buy, people, when you go to the store and you see the exact same looking thing? One's made in China, one's made in Pennsylvania. I guarantee you most people will buy the $300 stove. Well, since Donald Trump's playing hardball, that $300 stove's going bye-bye, and it's going to be a $600 stove. But the point is, how many stories have you heard of people that have, in our country, manufacturing that have all gone away because of why? Yeah, we know why. Once again, it's Donald Trump's tariff virus that's going to infect the world and change the way the world is. Does it become stronger, better? I have no idea. Does it really play out? Does he start to backtrack, which he already is? He's already starting to roll back. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. So even for me, making a conversation about this is debatable. Because really, what's the real story? I don't know. I mean, I really don't. But here's another thing that I think is so interesting about this whole attack China. Is now you're hearing the stories stateside of all the people that rely on their business of Chinese goods that they sell in our country that are probably going to close shop. And one example is a guy up here, once again, in Pennsylvania, New York, somewhere, where he's got a fireworks business. And at this time, he's not planning on opening that up. He's going to have to close it down. Because where does he get all his fireworks? From China. Who else is being, having this happen to them? I mean, the list goes on and on and on, everybody. I mean, and for me, I don't really have a lot of time for this conversation this morning. Got a late start because I feel like crap. I didn't sleep. Do I go to the doctor? Probably. Just that time of year. But, I don't know. All the damn pollen. I mean, who knows? Allergies, whatever. Who the hell knows? All I know is, man almighty, the coughing and the hacking and stuffiness is the worst. And your energy level, too. So I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. And that's all I want to say this morning. Once again, even to present this morning conversation about the pandemic being in comparison to the virus terrorists of Donald Trump, it's like, who even knows? The way Donald Trump's operating right now, that guy could probably just say, you know what, this is just a terrible idea. Kick it to the curb. Let's move on. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. That's it, everybody. God bless. Hope everybody has a beautiful, great day. Stay upbeat. Stay healthy.